The truth really is that trusted devices enable trusted data. And by that measure, trusted devices can only be orchestrated in trusted workspaces. In a global enterprise scenario that is perennially vulnerable to threats and attacks, organizations are realizing that the need of the hour is for solutions that provide for robust automated threat prevention, detection, and response capabilities. And altogether, modern work demands an equally modern approach to protecting the endpoint and the end user fundamentally. Solutions that ensure artificial intelligence and machine learning infused threat detection and prevention are the clear mandates as it looks for Indian industry to start with. The need of the hour, therefore, is a continuous and adaptive automated digital workspace monitoring and alerting capability. This is the kind of a head start that organizations, in our collective view, perhaps required to effectively give them the confidence that endpoints and applications are safe, especially when they are remotely based. Uh, which therefore brings me, and Amit, if I may kindly come to you directly, sir, is the last 60, 65 days have seen Indian industry in a state of lockdown at various levels, predominantly in the whole concept of a workforce that has been, well, forced to work agnostic of space and time, really. Now, in that kind of a scenario, and in your experience as Chief Information Security and Data Protection roles that you have essayed and that you are currently, how does that kind of change the entire landscape?
That's a very interesting question. The change is actually not in the work. The change is not in how we are, managing security. The change is the landscape itself has changed, and that is the landscape of how we are doing business, or that is getting a change. So there is a change in the ecosystem. There is a change in how activities are being performed with a lot of people roaming outside. Uh, it goes to the basic principle, and that is what probably your theme is, managing digital trust. You know, so data, yes, it is floating around, and it has just increased the boundaries, and it is going beyond the scope that we had presumed. So to be maintaining trust, we need to go back to the basic principles of security. A lot of things need to change going forward. Maybe the regulators need to change. Maybe the way we're looking at data transitioning different places needs to change. So all those things are being considered, and the way we are looking at security and managing security. So a lot of on-prem tools just go out of the window.
Yes.
Mobile and cloud are the two big things, which are emerging. And to be on a lighter note, there are cartoons which are asking, what is causing digital transformation, and people are saying it is COVID. So on those terms, the monitoring is changing. The assurance that we need to provide to the customer is becoming a little tricky, but still, being done on that way. So overall, there is a change and there is not a change.
Okay.
It is more of a mindset, but technically, I don't think there is too much of change. But yes, the transitions of technology to mobility and cloud will bring those additional list of controls that we need to put in place.
Very, very, very well articulated. Rishi, if I may come to you with the same one. Amit spoke about a mindset change. Now, along with the mindset change, what's also been affected, perhaps unnaturally, is a necessary culture change. Now, how is that kind of inflected with your ability to drive safety and digital trust across endpoints, really?
Yeah, and thanks, Arjun. And I'll just build upon where Amit left, right? So in security, we are talking about terms like zero trust, right? Which is like, I really don't trust anyone. And considering that I've been working with ITES sector for so long, I've been so accustomed to work with bricks and mortars. And what I can feel, touch in my office, I always feel secure. And suddenly I see people moving out in their homes. And I mean, it makes me feel insecure. Now, having said that, do you have technologies in place which can ensure zero trust? The answer is yes. And I think that's the principle of when we say work at home model. And when we initially started this in our organization, security was paramount, right? So it was like, it was not just people will work from home, whether with their desktops or laptops. Uh, if the location has changed, do we get the same visibility on the endpoints as we were getting in bricks and mortars? Now, the major shift that we have seen moving from on-prem to home is our tolerance has gone low, which means that if a person is working from home, I know he's working from home, so my tolerance is almost zero to any alert to that workstation. And we as a company are working on one button contain a strategy, which means if you would have asked me if a low level alert in bricks and mortars, I would have taken my time. I would have asked IT team to look at that asset, run a scan and share the reports. But since it is work at home model, we're working in a strategy that the moment I see an alert, I contain the machine. And when I contain the machine, it's no longer talking to any other stuff on the network.
True.
So I'm sure, and this is true with a lot of the organizations, we are moving towards zero trust, as well as our tolerance towards risk has gone down like anything. So it's kind of zero tolerance, zero trust model, I would say.
Very, very interesting there again. Now, which brings me to an important question, which is really that if both of you were to individually be able to peer into the future, how, in your view, are you expecting security strategies and narratives across Indian industry to really play out? Do you think there's going to be, well, seismic shifts in how security is not just viewed, but also architected around anything, even as basic as an endpoint or on the network or any other levels of security that you would kind of, Rishi, Amit, either of you could kind of take a stab at this. Rishi, why don't you continue, considering you were in the flow on your narrative?
Yeah. So basically, what we are seeing is it will be a change, and change is bound to happen. And it is dependent on a lot of other conditions as well. So our DOT regulations have to change. They need to allow work at home. So considering, I'm assuming that that's all done, I think this will be quite favorable model for across the industry, barring a few very, very sensitive industries like pharma, where it's too much sensitive. Yeah. So, I think it's going up, and where traditional, and what the basic change I'm seeing is where all traditional BCP model failed, whether it was alternate site recovery, city recovery, or country recovery, I'm seeing a trend of people asking for BCP first option work at home, which means that traditionally you were working with bricks and mortars, and the next option is work at home, right? Which not only makes the job easier for us, and it becomes more flexible model. Imagine you are doing an intercity recovery with your office versus you doing a work at home recovery, which is much easier. And there is acceptability of this model now. So if I go back 2 to 3 years back, especially in geographies like India, where I would have pitched a work at home model, the acceptability was much low. But due to COVID-19, a couple of things have happened. There is an acceptability of this model. Second, people know that this model works, right? It has its own challenges related to infrastructure, internet, power. But I think people and organizations have found their own creative ways to overcome that challenge. So this model is here to stay.